Hi Emma, how you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Scotty. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to see you. It's been almost about 18 months, I think, since we last spoke.
I think it is. I think it's 18. Oh, what a ride this last 18 months. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. I think not. I don't think nobody could have predicted what's happened in the last 2 years.
Well,
Oh, mind you, we say that, and some people actually
Foster
have. But
Gamble,
yeah,
Foster Gamble from Thrive, the Thrive movement. He did had a did get he There's a lovely film called Thrive. You'll find it at thriveon.com, published in 2011, talking about everything that's been going on, but 10 years ago. And everything he suggested might happen has happened. So, really lovely red pill tool for your friends and family if they're
I'm
not woken up yet.
I'm definitely going to be in contact with them and see if we can put something together ourselves to speak to people as well. So thank you for pointing that out for me. It's not just those as well, actually. So Ralph Smart, for those of you who don't know, Ralph Smart is Ralph Smart makes YouTube videos with the cat down the road, and I've put him on our People to Watch page, and he predicted a lot of what's going on very accurately as well. So
There are
yes,
seers, there are
but it
seers. I
has
mean,
been a crazy 2 years for
even
sure.
going so far back as Rudolf Steiner, who was a seer at the turn of the century in 1900s. He predicted that we would have full plates but still be starving. He predicted mad cow disease. He predicted that we would be given inoculations to sever us from our souls. And that was
Okay,
100 years ago.
I didn't know. What was his name again? Sorry.
Rudolf Steiner.
Okay,
So
some
he
more
started
some more.
this
Yeah.
the Steiner schools, Waldorf education, where the children are basically left alone to be in fairyland from about 0 till 7, or whenever you first start going to school. Their kindergarten starts, when you're old enough to put your arm over your head and touch your ear. That's a pretty weird measurement, but it's not to do with how grown up or big or clever you are. It's, are you physically in your body incarnated enough to be able to come and spend time with the other children at school? It's fascinating, Waldorf education. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Anyway.
While we're speaking about that as well, then I suppose there's also something else on the website that's been created. So we've got about 73 PDFs at the moment that I've came across over the times and things that I've bought. Some of them were bought from the dark web. So there's forbidden knowledge on there, and there's free energy devices,
It's
and there's all
forbidden
stuff about
knowledge.
keto.
Is that the one by Andreas Kalka with the chlorine dioxide solution?
No, I just
Oh,
mean there's forbidden knowledge on
oh, I
there.
see.
Knowledge that you
Forbidden knowledge.
shouldn't
Got
really
it.
that you can't really find this stuff on the internet most of the time. It's very, very,
Fabulous.
very difficult to find, but I'll put it all on there for everybody.
Oh, what a
um,
resource, Scotty. That's amazing. Well done.
well, we'll speak about that in a moment. I think we got a bit ahead of ourselves. So, for people that don't know both of us, I'm Scotty Saul, the creator of the Humanity Project. This is Emma Goodwin. She's the creator of the Timeless Cookery program. And yes, so basically the video today is, the Humanity Project was created to, fix a lot of the problems in the world, mainly with division, and everybody's divided over color and race and religion and political beliefs and hijab status. And, education is also a very big problem on the planet because a lot of people have been indoctrinated and we're only taught what they want us to know, enough to be worker ants, like in the movie Ants. They don't actually teach us
Great
anything to
film.
set us free. Yeah, I love that film. It's pretty much like what's going on right now as well, really ironically, but yeah. So the opportunity and the whole point of the Humanity Project is, to bring everyone together, unite all the good people, all my fellow, Earth Angels, humanitarians, freedom fighters, and just general good souls. Do you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And bring them all together. Everyone can connect and share with love and light, and share the, knowledge of, and hopefully we can all grow together and grow our health and our wealth and our personal growth and development and relationships and make a better place. I think that's what we're here for, pretty much.
And survive and thrive these troubled times. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been very busy these last few months building. So now I've turned the Humanity Project into a membership site. You can sign up as a free member. You can support us as well. There's various options. But everyone's welcome to sign up as a free member. If you sign up as a free member, you get access to loads of free PDFs, like I was just telling you about all sorts of different things. There's some really good, including like 1 million followers, and there's absolutely loads of really good PDFs on there. Like some of it's forbidden knowledge off grid, how to grow things, how to build free energy and solar panels and all sorts of stuff. You also get access to our new forum as well. So there's a forum there with absolutely loads of topics that everyone can speak about, and you can create a profile a little bit like Facebook, where you can put your picture and links to your name and links to your real Facebook or whatever you want to put on there, so everyone can connect. We've got a Discord app as well now, so there's a link to the Discord app, so you can all do the same in the Discord app, similar to the forum, create groups and chat about whatever you want to talk about. What else have we got? So next year, so there's going to be courses coming next year. So you're quite familiar with courses anyway, because I know that you do run courses yourself. So is Tara Love Perry, and so are a few people that I speak to. So the idea is the courses will be built in next year, early next year. So you guys can, sell your own courses. I can give some free courses away as well with great content, but also, sell your own courses, and people can have a look and buy and browse whatever they like. And we've got some free competitions on at the moment. So one of them is to win every year for your birthday. To win, you can pick yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie or a hat or whatever you want from our store. So that's a free competition going at the moment. So yeah, everybody get in and have a look at the Humanities Project. I've put loads of content on there. There's loads of great free stuff for you. Hopefully as a result of this, then, like I said, I believe it's our job, and I believe we're here to rebuild the world and create heaven on earth, basically. And I believe that we definitely can, and we will do it. But first of all, obviously, we need to create an educated society and bring everyone together, and that will create a more fairer and a more loving world with better relationships and better health and a better sense of community and abundance for everyone. So there's no more struggle to survive, and we just need to unite and build it together.
We've got to focus on that, haven't we? We've got to focus on what we can do. That's one of my favorite mantras. That is, just do what you can do. Do what you can do, even if you're just doing the washing up and you're thinking, I don't want to be doing the washing up. It's just do what you can do. Get those negative vibes out of your head and start to just focus on what you can do, one step in front of the other. And education, as you say, is key. It's absolutely crucial. And we got given a load of rubbish at school, really.
Terrible. I can't, it's going to be so amazing right now, I think, as our friend Charlie always says, it is definitely the best time to ever be alive as a human, or a spiritual being having a human experience. But I think in the future, it's going to be so much better, because just think when the schools are actually teaching things that we should know.
Like numerology, like etymology, like symbology, mythology, astrology, the greatest of all the sciences. It's written in the stars, and the baddies, the cabal, the so-called authorities are using it every day, and we need to start learning about it and start using it ourselves to.
It's not just that, things like with food, even like the problem is and I think this is a very big problem in the world, and if it does happen, then praying for everyone. Everyone's was worried about the corona, the Rona stuff and all that. But I think a more serious problem that we've got in the world is that people, we're including myself. I'm definitely included in this. If in any city in the world, there's only about 3 or 4 days at most, at best, food supply for everyone. So if the food supply chain stopped, we're all screwed, because what we're going to do, we don't know how to get
what you need to do is to really make friends with farmers. And this is something I've been working on for decades, because I started a small holding. I bought land in 2011 and moved on to the land in 2014 and started a community supported agriculture scheme. And we kept pigs and sheep and chickens and did a veg box scheme and involved the community. It was like Tune In Tuesdays. Brilliant. Come in, everybody, come and hang out in the garden. I'm going to show you how to do permaculture, biodynamic farming, natural farming. We're going to be using, no pesticides, no herbicides, no artificial fertilizers of any description. And that was an amazing experience. Oh God, I digress. Anyway, I forgot. I lost my thread. Go ahead.
Yes, that's okay. No worries. Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, that's exactly, I think, what's needed really. So that's why I've kind of changed the platform slightly and created it so people can learn things that we weren't taught at school, that we should have been, that we need to know, because
and there are lots of farmers out there that you can go and buy direct from, and that's what you need to do, is cut out the middleman, stop going to the supermarket and actually go and find your local small scale, small holdings, people who are still doing it naturally, people are still being husbands to the land, stewards to the land, who are building soil with, and they've got clean air, clean water on their farms, that they're not polluting it with all of the chemical crap. And they are there, but you've got to go and find them, because they've been persecuted the last decades. The farming industry has been absolutely persecuted the last decade. A lot was
happening in India with that recently as well, but the farmers won against the big corps, so that was really big. So go farmers.
And there are big scale farmers who are working differently now. There's a great agricultural conference called groundswell.ag or groundswellag.com. I can't remember what it is, but Groundswell Ag. And they are big boys with their big toys. They're big farmers with vast machinery and vast swathes of land. And they are all starting to do it differently as well, and going, we've got to cut right back on these chemicals. And so it's changing. Not that you'd know about that on the mainstream media, but let's remember that, like that Ants movie or Bug's Life, that's another cracker, similar story. We're all here, the ants working away, gathering the food, and then the baddies come along and steal all our hard-earned stores. But then we overcome them because we are many and they are few. Let's remember that we are many and we are all part of the food chain. We including...
This is the thing, though, the united, we are the many. But when we're all divided on political, race, gender, politics, whether you've had the shot or not, or all that kind of stuff, then we're not the many, because we're all scattered and split up. This is the problem.
They've designed it very well.
Yeah, of course, because divide and conquer. But if we all come together and stand united, and we all start to raise our level of intelligence and all start to help each other and work together, we've definitely got all of the power. And not just that, you were saying about the farmers, and at the moment, we're all dependent on the system, and the system doesn't work for us. So we need to create our own systems, so we don't need their system. And then when we don't need their system, we can say, no, thank you. We opt out. We've got plenty of food. We've got plenty of, community. We've got plenty of support. We're okay without you.
Do what you can.
We don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
So
and it's not going to take that much actually to make the change. And this is, I think people go, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. How are we going to change? No. It's not going to be that difficult. I started farming on a bare field, which was very poor soil. And in a matter of about 7 years, I had built about 7 inches of deep, dark topsoil. And they'll tell you that Mother Nature only grows topsoil at about half an inch every 100 years or something. I don't know. But when we get involved with our amazing creative energies and we team up with Mother Nature, we can actually mimic her. So it's biomimicry. What does she do every year? She lays a bed of leaves on the top of the soil, and then the worms integrate it. And, so we can just mulch. But it's a permaculture thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Biodynamic, but well, not so much biodynamic, but permaculture, definitely. But yeah, it's not going to take that long. Give it about 10 years when we're all on it and getting on it. It's going to just transform the world. But there's a few things we've got to do. One is to hold the chemical corporations and those who are pushing the climate change agenda and the geoengineering as a solution to the problem of climate change, which is actually caused by climate changers. I mean, I don't know if anyone's up to speed on that, but it's a thing. You can look at weathermodificationhistory.com if you want to find out about what's been sprayed in the skies. We need to hold them to account and go, oi, who did you ask if you could do that? You didn't ask nobody. You're just doing it, and it's not okay. We need to take them to court with the common law.
I think organisations we need to do that with.
Yeah.
But I think coming back to the food side of things, and you said permaculture. So I think permaculture and contributionism combined especially, but even just permaculture on its own would make a huge difference to the world and the way that we eat and how we eat. Because I saw something that said if around about half, I think it's just slightly more than half of people decided to come check, instead of having a lawn and cutting your grass every year and spraying your dandelions, which you shouldn't spray dandelions because they're very medicinal and they're really good for you.
Exactly.
That's how deep it goes. But if everyone turned the lawns into little
veg plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
growing your
much.
beans, growing
You
your
don't have to
potatoes.
have aquaponics, but you could have aquaponics as well and create and fish and
Chickens would be
also,
easier, probably. Chickens in the backyard and veg in the front. Imagine it through all of the estates,
well,
all the little housing
if half
estates.
of the people did that and everybody just shared
It's so
everything,
beautiful. And
it would be
imagine bean
free. It'd be
poles.
free.
Yeah, free
Nobody,
food.
if the food's run out in the supermarkets, if you've got 3 days of food and then everyone's starving for the next God knows how long, we've got the solution because we've all got free food.
But I tell you what, though, man does not survive by veg alone, in my humble opinion. Although there are people who are vegan and they're very happy. There's people who are breatharian. They don't even eat. They just breathe. They just look at the sun and call in the energy and they survive. And I am aiming for that, believe me. But right now, all right, I need my butter. I need my lard. I need my tallow, my goose fat. And it's the fats that actually keep us healthy and well. Because you can have a cabbage and some spuds, but if you've got your spuds roasted in goose fat, and if you've got your cabbage cooked with garlic and butter, suddenly it's a feast.
Yes, my mouth's watering already. I love, I'm saying that I love food, but since we last spoke, so I've probably lost about must have been at least 2 stone.
Oh yeah,
I've lost.
Well done.
Well,
because last time I spoke to you, I think you might have even had a McDonald's shake in your hand.
Yeah, I haven't had McDonald's for well over. Actually, I'm telling a lie because I had some fries. I only eat the French fries now. And maybe
the word don't.
Selects.
No, don't do it, babe. Don't do it because it's the oils. The potatoes are cooked in vegetable oil at McDonald's, and that vegetable oil is transmuted into trans fatty acids that are terrible for your system. Absolutely
it's very
terrible.
rare that I eat that.
Have chips by all means, but buy your own organic spuds. Chop. Usually I just chuck my spuds in a pan whole with the skins on with some water, and I just boil them until they're soft, right? And then I drain them and I put them in the fridge in their skins. So they're cooked with their skins on in the fridge. Then when I feel a bit peckish, I just whip one out, peel it, takes seconds, chop it up into little squares, goose fat or butter or lard in the pan, and fry them up and have them with your fermented ketchup or whatever, Yummy. Have chips. Have chips. But just don't those they're not foods, they're food-like products. And if you want to have your wits about you, right, when you ingest those poisons, frankly, all it's going to do is hold you back from being your best self. And you're creating an amazing resource that you need to be as powerful as you possibly can be for, so that you can spread the word, of the love and the possibilities and the future and come on, right? You don't need any poisons in your body. You just don't need them. And I know it's hard. Come on, I'm addicted. I smoke cigarettes sometimes. Everyone's addicted to something or other. But, and we're not to beat ourselves up. We're to go, I'm doing the best I can. Doing the best I can. Just do what you can do.
Well, I think my solution, because my diet is honestly, I'm very, very, very aware that I should be, learning everything I can from you and then following and eating all these great foods and nourishing myself. But I'm like you said last year, you saw me with the McDonald's thing. My diet is so awful. But I think because I know that my diet is so awful, I don't really eat very much anymore. So, because I know when I do eat something, it's normally not the best food. So I think because of that,
Scotty,
I just eat little bits now. I don't eat very much anymore.
If you're going to eat just little bits, go and buy some dates and figs and dried apricots. You don't like dates and figs? Okay, but look, what about if you took dates, right?
But I'm saying I don't like these things, but this is like a child. They say that when your taste buds are new, you don't even know that you like it or not, because you need to taste it so many times before
you need to go and buy some medicinal dates. They are like toffee. They're like having a toffee, I swear. They're succulent. They're chewy. They're so sweet. They blow your mind sweet. Medicinal dates. They're unbelievable. I mean, anyway, but what I do is I take dried dates and I put them in a pan with some water and I boil them until they've gone all soft, until nearly all the water is evaporated. Then I put in a massive dollop of coconut oil, right? Coconut oil, you can buy it in
like
jar.
I use coconut oil. That's
cool.
one thing that I'm aware of. Coconut oil is good, right? But like most food, it's not.
About put a massive big spoon of coconut oil for a handful of dates, and then have you got a hand blender? got to say, it's an amazing tool, a hand blender. It's
No, I
like
know what you mean. No, yeah,
it's like a long thing, and it's
yeah,
got
yeah. No, I haven't.
and
I
you
know what
put
you
it
mean.
in. So if you were cooking up a soup, a veg soup or whatever, you just chop up all your veg, chuck it in with your stock and your good fats, and then you would make it a lovely smooth soup with a knob of butter and some garlic, and suddenly it's gourmet, darling. You know, you whoosh up your dates and your coconut oil, right? And it makes date paste. So that sounds not very interesting, but it's like you keep it in a jar in the fridge, and if you want something sweet, you just have a big spoon of that. And it's like this smooth, soft, sweet, fatty, satisfying, just mouth-watering treat. It's a treat.
That's another thing as well. That's sugar. So
Yeah.
I pretty, apart from hold my hands up, I'm a Vimto addict. And I love Vimto. It has to be a can
You're
of fizzy
addicted.
Vimto. I could drink 100 a day. I don't drink 100 a day, but I could.
That
I drink
is
maybe 1 or 2.
that's the pits, Scotty. That's
I know I
terrible.
do quite well.
To,
I could drink 10 cans a day, really, but like
but
I
you
don't. I drink
do.
1 or 2
Well
sometimes.
done.
And
That
some
is
days I don't have any,
strength.
some days I don't have any, and I'm like, oh, my Vimto. Then I stick
So,
to the Vimto cordial.
fizzy
Vimto
drinks
cordial,
are yummy. Fizzy, I can't see it because your background thing, I couldn't
yeah.
see it. Vimto, fizzy drinks of all descriptions are actually lovely. We want to have that sensation of the bubbles going down our throat and that sort of slight,
But
it's almost like a burn.
It's the fake sugar.
But yeah, what we need to do is make our own water
Mm.
kefir, make our own kombucha, make our own homemade ferments, make your own lemonade, you know?
Yeah.
And it's actually really easy and really yummy. But, you know, you'll have to see me at timelesscookery.com if you want to come and find out how to do that kind of thing. But it's normal to want fizzy drinks. It's normal and it's lovely. And I have them all the time, but they're homemade ones.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of things that I know what I need to do, but I'm just terrible at putting them into practice. Like you saying about making your own water, I've actually got the glass jug sat next to me that I bought about 2 months ago that I haven't used once yet. But I got the lemons too, but they've gone in the bin because I didn't make it. So I'm terrible at following these things through. But I am aware that I should be doing them, and at some point, something will tick, and I'll be working out every day and doing all this stuff, and you watch. I'm like, so much. But one thing that confuses me as well, even though I'm really not very a healthy person, apart from I do fast, I fasted for years, and intermittent fasting and fasting for years, pretty much nearly every day. So I think that's the only thing that I can think of that actually keeps me as healthy as I am. Because, you know, for example, I went and met somebody the other day, and they'd got the kind of flu or whatever. They were really not well. Everyone in their family had got it, and all of the friends that they'd visited had got it. They came to see me, and I gave her a little kiss, and I didn't get no. I said,
you know what? It's because you've got a massively high vibration. That's what it is. It's because you're always sending out love and encouragement and, you know, positive vibes. I swear, if we can get to that point where we're all like, hey, how you doing? Rather than just like, oh, I don't know if I should give you a kiss because they've told me I mustn't kiss you because I must have to wear a mask and I'm going to catch something. That's like the fear is going to kill you quicker than anything.
Yeah, and I've got no fear of anything anymore.
Well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big fat zero. To me, fear just means face evil and rise.
I love it. And you're right. The fasting and intermittent fasting is a great thing to do. It gives your body a chance to take out the rubbish, sort out the building blocks. You know, it gives you, because eating food actually uses up the most energy of any of our bodily functions. So actually eating food costs you energy, if you know what I mean. So if you can just eat very little of the really good stuff and then do that intermittent fasting thing, as you say,
I was just gonna, you took the words out of my mouth, and I was gonna say, imagine if I could just keep the intermittent fasting, do a little bit of exercise and stuff, and then also incorporate gaps and eating correctly.
Yeah,
and, oh my God,
it might sound overwhelming, but all you've got to do is do one small tiny thing every day. Like, so just take small steps, and then they start to become habits. So like I was getting a bit stiff and a bit wintry and a bit like, oh God, I don't feel great. And so now when I wake up in the morning, I put on Body Groove on YouTube, and funky music, and then just strut around my sitting room. Do you know what I mean? Just stretching it out and having a little dance, maybe breaking sweat a tiny bit, but all I'm doing is dancing, and it's so fun and it's so liberating. And so it takes, I don't know, I spent about 7 minutes or 10 minutes doing it or something, but it's got my heart rate up. It's got my circulation going.
Got you going, yeah.
Put me in a good mood, and I'm just like, hey, come on then, let's do it. Whatever it is we've got to do, small, tiny steps. So you in a way, Scotty, you have been giving me some negative affirmations there, because you're going, I'm not doing it. Imagine what it's going to be like when I do it. But you're never going to do it because tomorrow never comes, if you know what I mean. If you say that, if you start to change the spellings, because the words are like spellings, they're like the spells.
Yep.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Then you say, yeah, I'm eating well. I'm eating much better than I was. I'm eating good stuff.
That is actually true.
You just start saying it as you do all your positivity and sending all the love out. Whenever you communicate with me, it's always just like, love just comes out of the message. Do you know what I mean? It's energy, good energy. So start using the spellings to talk yourself into making small, tiny changes, getting your blood circulating, eating something slightly different today. I'm going to just pay a little bit of attention and just make a few different moves today. Slowly, 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 step by step, do what you can do. Everything's changed.
New good habits. Habits.
Tiny, don't make it a big deal. It's just like, I'm going to do a little thing different today. Just one little thing,
Yeah, and 1% better each day equals 365% better at the end of the year.
Oh,
I think that's one of the books that we've got on the 3D PDFs. I can't do it no more. I broke my arm, didn't I?
What's one of the free books?
I think that's 1% better each day. I think that's one of the things we've got on the
nice.
PDFs,
Nice. Beautiful.
Okay, so should we talk about you today and what you do, Emma? So everyone knows who I am now from the Humanities Project and wanted to join. Let's talk about what you do, and you're pretty much top center of the website of our website now. So
thank you.
What you do is very important, and I'm sure we all would love to learn and know as much as we can.
Well, when my children were small, we were all very sick in my house, and I could hardly walk. I had to come down the stairs on my bum. I had this pubic dysfunction. Then I got really bad mastitis. Then we all got mega dosed with antibiotics. And then my youngest got her gut flora wiped out and was colicky and crying all the time. And also ADHD and not giving me eye contact and autistic spectrum kind of thing. My eldest also then had Tourette's and ticking. Tourette's, where you start shouting out stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, how's she going to live her life when she's telling her math teacher? Or, I was like, no, oh no, what's, and we had night terrors. And, so my youngest, when she'd cry at night and I'd come to her to comfort her, and she would kick me as though I was the monster and look through me like I wasn't there, like she was taken over. She was in another realm. I don't know what it was. It was really scary anyway. I was at my wit's end, and then I found this book, GAPS, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, which is basically a nutritional protocol. It's a big yellow book, and it's written by this Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, a Russian neurologist surgeon. She was like, a doctor in Russia doing surgery, neurological. She's like big brains, you know what I mean? Anyway, her son got vaccine damaged. He got his inoculations and he got vaccine damaged. He became autistic. So she went back to school and did another medical degree in nutrition and gut health. So then she used her ancestral heritage, because she was Russian. So borscht, fermented vegetables, soups and stews, rich, delicious, hot pots and good fats, animal fats, eggs, cream, fermented cream. She used all her ancestral heritage to put together a way of eating that was going to heal her son. So that was 20 years ago. And then when I read that book, it was like, it was all explained to me what was going on with my children. And I literally cried with relief, because I had been at my wit's end. The doctors weren't helping me. And I was like, how am I going to live I was finished by 4 o'clock every afternoon, chronic fatigue or whatever. I just managed to get up in the day, do what I had to do. By 4 o'clock, my energy was gone. I was finished, And I was like, I'm 35.
That sounds awful, to be fair.
but so many people are in that state at the moment. I've got mental health problems. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was just, when I was 28, actually, I just cried every day for about 6 months. Just cried every day. Couldn't even put food in my mouth without bursting into tears.
This is the problem of the world, and like you said, I think, sorry to interrupt you there, Emma, but I think a lot of people do, or in fact, it's probably the majority of people really, that we're all suffering with in one way or another, pretty much because the system's designed that way, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. We've been poisoned. And we've also had our minds poisoned with the programming from the TV, from the television.
Tell lies, television.
Tell lies, television from the British bullshitting corporation, the BBC. Sorry, but it is.
I agree.
And anyway, it's okay. Anyway, I read the book and I started to implement, but it was very lonely because basically what you do is you have no grains. And everyone's like, what do you mean, no bread? What do you mean, no crackers, no rice, no potatoes, no starchy carbs at all?
No carbs, yeah.
No, because you're starving out the bad pathogenic bacteria that have taken up residence in you. And they are the ones who are creating more toxicity and then causing your brain fog, causing your anxiety, causing your depression, causing your ADHD, your autistic tendencies, causing the achy joints, causing the gut issues, you've got diverticulitis, you've got chronic Crohn's disease, celiac disease. It's all interlinked with gut health. So when we heal the gut, then the body can fix itself properly. And it's not very difficult. It's just fermented foods, meat and 2 veg, lots of good fats, but no carbs. And that freaks people out because they're a bit like, I can't live without my bread and my toast. And I was like that, but I just don't.
That makes sense to me as well, because I went keto about a year, probably about 18 months, roughly when we last spoke, and I only went keto for many weeks, was it? I think it was only 8 weeks or something like that. And I had a cheat day every week, which I shouldn't have done, and I completely pulled the sugar in on that cheat day. So it took myself. But I still, after that, I've never actually. I was trying to explain to friends, and I say, the only way I can explain how I felt while I was on keto was like I was on drugs or something.
Yeah, man, you get really high.
Yeah, my brain was so sharp and so fast, and instead I didn't need 8 hours, 7.5, 8 hours sleep anymore. I only needed 6. Like 6.5 hours. I'd wake up like bing, ready to jump out of bed, like I could run downstairs and mad energy and clarity.
Because the sugar messes us up. And when I say sugar, I don't just mean refined. I don't just mean white table sugar. I mean bread is sugar. It breaks down into sugar in your, rice, potatoes, any of those starchy carbs. It breaks down into a disaccharide. So your body has to work to get it into a monosaccharide, just the simple building blocks of sugar, which you would get from honey, and it can't do it. And then it's feeding the pathogens. Basically, it's about recolonizing your gut with good bacteria. It's basically what it is. You've got a broken microbiome. You need to boost it with fermented foods like cultured cream. Oh my God, it's so nice.
You just triggered a question. So when you go to the supermarket and you buy, I think it's Activia and things like that. The little
Actimel or
Yakult. Those kind of things. Those kind of things.
Yes, they do have some good bacteria in them, but they're very sugary and they're very processed and they're very like. I was
going to say, is that like the Holland and Barrett of the?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's got some of the good stuff in, but
it's like it's really a least worst option. If you're aware and you're going, I'm going to get me some Yakult. I used to get it way back when, like 18 years ago or something. It's the least worst. It's like, well done for showing that you need to build up your microbiome. Good work. Now, don't buy some kefir grains. It's not difficult, and do it yourself. Because when we start to work with these microorganisms in our own field of energy, it totally is something completely different. Do you know Emoto, Dr. Emoto, the Messages in Water? He was a Japanese scientist. He took water from all over the world. He worked out how to freeze it into snowflakes and then take a photograph of the snowflake before it melted. He worked out this thing. What he was doing was taking water from, say, the sewers of New York. Imagine the energy in that water. Geez. And then he would filter it and bless it and then write words on the bottle like love and respect, like you do in your messages. Like it's all full of love, yeah? So all the intention was love. So he would do a kind of before and after crystallization of the water, because we're made of water. Our water's crystalline in structure. So before, the New York City water wouldn't really crystallize into a snowflake. But after, once you'd cleaned it a little bit, loved it a little bit, vortexed it a bit, stirred it up, froze it again and sent it love and joy, it would crystallize into a perfect snowflake. Our intention affects how water crystallizes. It's really mind-blowing.
I saw something similar to that with the plants, and like there were two plants, and one plant got constant love and praise and appreciation, and one plant got lots of negative stuff, and then the plant that got all the positive was way bigger and stronger, and the plant that got all the negative was like Weasley. And
I think they had it in a school, didn't they, so that the children could actually see the effect. And if you put your ear to the box, you could hear, hello, darling plant, I love you so, and then the other one, it's like, I hate you, you really smell, whatever. So that the children would think about how they deal with each other, how we talk to each other, how we deal with each other affects us so much, like we wouldn't believe. Even just a bad thought can actually trip someone up. Do you know what I mean? That's how powerful we are. It's really amazing.
I completely agree.
Anyway, so now I do a cookery school. I teach online cookery. Way. So I was on my own at the school gate, going, yes, Bibi would love to come and play, but please don't give her any cornflakes or cereals or bread or toast or pasta or pizza. Don't give her. And then people look at me and go, what's she going to eat? What, literally people would look at me and go, what is she going to eat if she can't have any of the stuff we usually eat? So all the parents, not all, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I definitely got the cold shoulder at the school gate. They're like, oh God, here comes that woman again who's always talking about not eating carbs. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit like that. But so now, though, I'm helping hundreds, probably thousands of people by now to overcome gut-related problems and how to recolonize with the good guys and to survive and thrive in these troubled times, to get the information and the inspiration and the motivation for the transformation that comes when you get rid of those sugars, because you're starving out the bad guys and then recolonizing with the good guys. And suddenly you come online and like, wow, this is what it feels like to be alive. Rather, I was so dreary before. I was so like half alive before, and now I feel great. And you've got adaptability then, and then you've got resilience, and that's what we need to build. Resilience. We've got to get these bodies strong. We're at Earth School. In your meat suit. You've got to get your meat suit strong so that your mind can work properly, so that you can point it where you want to point it, rather than being led like a sheeple. I was a sheeple. I vaccinated my children. That's where all the problems started, actually, when I had problems. It's a long story. And we've got to forgive ourselves. We've got to go, I'm doing the best I can. Just get on with the one step in front of the other, little small steps to doing it right, So now I teach people online. I've got a cookery school, timelesscookery.com. It's lovely.
Okay. How do you teach people? Is it in YouTube?
Well, I used to do live stuff at the local farm shop and at my own home, for years. I've been doing it since 2014. But then, of course, the Rona hit, and I was like, had to do this massively steep learning curve and get online. And so now all my for a while I was doing live group coaching where I do an hour of cookery demo and chatting and go, look, you just chop it up and chuck it in. You just do this, do that. Make sure you get this. Make sure you don't have that. And da-da-da. But mostly I focus on bringing in new yummy stuff. And then once you bring in the new yummy stuff and you start to go, why did I bother with that crap when I can have this? Because your body reacts. Your body tastes that date paste I was telling you about and just goes, oh my God, that is really good. I love it. And then you don't bother with the marathon or the Mars bar or the whatever anymore. You just don't. Anyway, now I've got this platform. It's the GAPS app. And so GAPS, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, that's the name of the book that changed my life. That's my Bible now, that I cried when I read, saved my life. And I'm helping other people, parents with autistic children, parents with children with ADHD who are struggling, people with the achy joint thing or migraines constantly, or that, just a few changes in your diet can drastically transform you. So I've created the GAPS app now, and that's got my core teachings on it. And it's got like a little library of about 50 how-to little short videos where you can just go, how do I make liver pate again? How do I make meringues again? How do I do, you know, and you just start to work it in your own kitchen. Like you be the king, the master of your microbiome in your castle, your kitchen, you know. That's what I want to do, is build people up to go, cool, I've got a little stove, I've got a little pot, I can make magic in my cauldron. You know,
I like the sound of, you know, I like the way that the way you made it sound then is yeah, like why would I be eating this crap when I can eat this that actually tastes better and it's good for you as well.
And you can have as much as you like. You know, well, eventually I'd like the app to be free. But, you know, this last 18 months has been a massive challenge for me. My husband and I split up at the beginning of the Rona, and I'm away from my children. I'm in France at the moment looking after my mum. And then I've done this whole massive steep learning curve to put all the teachings online. I've invested a lot of money at the same time as trying to pay my rent back in the UK, keep a roof over the kids' house, keep a roof over the kids' heads. So, you know, I would like it to be free, but for now it's there's a small fee so that I can recoup the money I've spent on creating it.
I completely understand.
You know,
it's the same for me. I've put absolutely everything all in, you know, to try and help as many people as I can, and left myself.
Well, yeah, right. It's like, oops, I haven't got any money to pay the rent. Oh, I must stop trying to save the world and actually look after myself. You know, we've got to look. You've got to put yourself at number one, because it's like when the plane's coming down. You've got to put your oxygen mask on first, so that you can then put oxygen mask on the babies, on the children, on whoever needs help, so that you can function. You know, so we've got to get our bodies fit and healthy so we can use our minds to go, okay, we're gonna do some great stuff now, come on.
That is what they're saying. It's a healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah, because it's the vessel.
I think fasting must have saved me.
Well done, you did it, you're doing it.
Because, you know, thinking about it as well, when you were talking earlier about brain fog and all that kind of stuff, I was thinking, you know, when I was about 20, I was only about 20, but I used to eat that much crap, like a full fry up for breakfast, and, you know, from the calf with toast and fried bread and everything that you should be having. And then at dinner time, I'd have
a fry up's not so bad if it's cooked with lard and butter.
Oh yeah, but obviously, you know, it's not. It's got bacon, fried bread and all. You know, there's a lot of things in the fry that are not good for you. But then also, like, you know, lunchtime I'd go to the chippy and get fish chips and curry sauce or something. And then, like, after I finish work, I'd go to the kebab shop, and then later on we'd probably get a pizza. And like, thinking about it, when I was younger, I feel better now than I did then. Like, I feel younger now than I've ever felt. Yeah. Like, even though I'm older.
Yeah, it's very draining, that junk food. That junk food is very draining. In fact, on my website, I've got an ebook called GAPS Snacks, which is all about how to have delicious, nourishing foods that feel like junk, but they're not.
I need to check that one out. That sounds like the one for me.
I have got loads of free resources, you know, on YouTube. I've got interviews and free resources of me cooking stuff up and talking about stuff, and so that's free. And then on Facebook, I've got some free resources. If you go to the videos part, and you'll check out, there's free resources. It's like free coaching. And then on Instagram, I do little snippets of, check this out, look what you can do. And, you know, so there is lots of free resources out there. But really, if you want to cut to the chase and get better quickly, then the coaching is an awesome resource, because for not very much every month, you're actually going to get me helping you to do what you need to do, you know.
I think that's definitely going to be worth it, because, you know, I've saw some of the things that you do, and it is fantastic. And like you were saying, you were helping people. You're not just helping people to eat healthy, you're actually helping people with serious, you know, things going on that need fixing. So that's amazing.
And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not pretending, you know, I can't talk about medication and whatnot, but I can definitely talk about the food as medicine.
Yeah, well, food is medicine. I think even I read something, I think it was only last week, and I saw something like that. Carrots were not known as a vegetable. They used to be known as a medicine. apparently,
Really? Oh,
apparently so.
I hadn't heard that one. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna, well, like I said, you're central on our website now, so hopefully we're gonna get as many people to have a look and see what you're doing. You've got loads of great free content that they can have a look at first of all to see what they think, and try a few things out, and then if people like it, then go and come and get your course, and
exactly. Yeah. So if they're
let's
interested
build a
in
better
working,
body.
with me, they can go to timelesscookery.com, and there I've written out my story and told people where I'm coming from. And then there's some options. There's a monthly membership, which is very affordable. Then there's the coaching. There's my core teachings, which comes with 3 free coaching sessions. And then there's a one-to-one program where I'm like an expert in your pocket, where I just stick to you like glue for about 6 months, and we Zoom every week, and you get all the other stuff as well, and that's like intensive, but really then you start to see results quickly, because I know what it's like. You start to eat well, and then actually you have a healing crisis because all your symptoms come flaring back, and you're like, what? I thought I was doing this right. I'm eating all the right foods and I feel terrible. And it's like, it's okay, because your body's now got the energy
Purging
to
the badness.
sort out the rubbish, and it's not going to be terribly comfortable maybe, but that's my job, to try and make it comfortable so that you don't have a massive Herx reaction, you don't have a massive die off. You actually take it easy and do a slow transition from feeling like rubbish to feeling amazing.
Got you. Rather than, yeah, okay, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. Am I fantastic?
Yeah. So lovely to catch up with you.
Yeah, it's been too long, and I think in the future we need to keep a bit more better contact. That's my fault though, completely. I'll hold hands up there.
But you were just telling me that you have been lying low a little bit this last year or so, which is a permaculture thing to do. When you say lying low, what I mean is you were studying. You were like drinking it all in and looking and observing and watching and just seeing what's going on, and then going, right, I know what I need to do now. Come on, let's do it. That's a brilliant thing to do. That is really brilliant.
I think it's divine timing has got a very big part in everything that we do, and sometimes I say, oh, I wish I knew now, what I knew, but yeah, divine timing's everything, and I think when the timing's right, the right things happen, and everything comes together how it's meant to be. And in a way, I find that the world's amazing like this, because you think of the world and you think of all the animals and the birds and how everything all works together, and it's got its own place and its own plan, and and it's the same for all of us really as well, isn't it? Because we've all got our own place and we all fit in somewhere, and it's just about following your heart and doing the right thing, I think.
It is. Yeah, we all need to get strong, and those who can and have the warrior spirit need to stand up and get out there. I don't mean get out there in protests and in front of policemen and things. I mean get out there and, for instance, challenge the chemical corporations with common law, that kind of thing. Yeah, because we haven't even scratched the surface really about how our bodies are being polluted. But we can talk about that another day.
Yeah, well, I think we could talk about that all day, to be honest. Literally, this is what I was saying earlier as well about, for the children of the future, once we've fixed all this mess, it's going to be so much better for them, because they're not going to have to be brought up with being indoctrinated by Disney. I know a lot of people might like Disney, but there's a lot of indoctrination going on there.
Yeah.
The minds and the souls of the people have been attacked from every angle, from when we're born. Including the things that we get, that achieve most of them, which cause things like autism, things like that as well. And, the food and the education and the school and everything, So once all this changes, it's going to be so much better. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And it's us that have got to change it. So I think we just need to get everybody together and get everybody.
Do you know what? Again, though, Scotty, we've got to talk about it as though it's already happened. We've got to go, it is great.
It is
great. It is amazing. There are people out there doing amazing things, and we've got the choice. We can choose this or that.
I think we just need people to, to be aware of,
what the possibilities are.
Yeah, exactly. I think
then they can start imagining it. Yeah.
Can you imagine what kind of world we're going to have when, when people start to learn these things that we were never taught, and learn how to get a healthy body, healthy mind, learn how to deal with stress, and have better relationships, and how to make money without having to just, exchange your whole life for it. And all this kind of, once people learn this and we all come together in a community and do this, it's going to be absolutely, I can see it now, it's going to be fantastic. There's so much support for everyone, and it's just going to be love and unity all around.
It is already.
Back to the 70s, kind of, almost, but not.
Yeah, the 70s were fun. That was when I was growing up, in the 70s.
Yeah, I was an 80s child. Me, I'm a bit behind.
Right.
I missed all the peace and love.
I was
Although
a
actually, I don't think I did,
teenager.
because I lived it anyway.
All right. Cool. Okay, Scotty, I've got to shoot off. It's so lovely to catch up with you.
And you?
Should we do it again soon then?
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously, I'll be working with you a bit more closely and helping, because you're already there on the homepage, but you're not yet. It's you, but it's not. I haven't actually put your videos in what what we want people to see, and so we'll definitely be working together more in the future, and we'll show everyone how amazing you are, and it is what what you do is.
I just want everyone to feel good. That's all I want.
And me.
Everyone to feel good.
That's what it's all about,
And be
it's
kind to each other.
Yeah, I think that so far, I think we're all on the same path, and there's many angles and many things that need to be addressed in order to make that happen. And I think between us all, for the ones that are interested in doing that, let's do it and create a better world.
Beautiful. Cool. Thanks, Scotty.
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you today, and I'll speak to you soon, I guess.
Okay, darling. I'm going to sign off. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.